every year in this little core area here, this little 500-acre block, we kill some of the best deer we kill.
I don't care which one's bigger. He's coming out. He's going to come out right there.
This is the top field on the west end of this block that I enjoy hunting so much and spend so much time in. We're going to hang some new stands. It's going to allow us to hunt it a little bit different, but this is still my favorite area on the farm. Now, standing in one of my favorite, probably my favorite place on the whole Grigsby farm, not necessarily just this food plot, but there's about a 500-acre area right here that it's just a really unique setup. So we, on this top ridge here, we got this beautiful clover patch here. Down in the bottom, we've got the split bottom food plot where I've got half the field's clover, half the field's corn. Then when you come up on the ridge on the other side over there, that top field, we actually leave 3 areas in that field is so big with standing crop. And then you drop down in the far bottom to the west, and then we have another turnip patch, and then up top we have another clover patch. Just tons of food, and all these food plots are kind of parallel, from east to west across these ridge tops. We like to hunt up on the tops when we can, and these narrow, between the wood blocks like this, because you get up top, the wind's consistent, makes it easy to hunt. But all this food in here and this big block of timber to the north, and these deer just stay in here. Historically, we've shot so many deer out of these places. It's just absolutely amazing. This year, I was lucky enough to shoot my buck right here where I'm standing, literally, in this clover patch. Had a cell camera that was just sending me tons and tons of pictures of this deer. He was in here just about every afternoon. We slipped in when the wind was right. We waited till it was perfect. And that first sit or two, that's always when you have the best chance at these bucks, when they don't know you've been in here, you haven't pushed them, you haven't jumped them, you haven't messed anything up. And it all came together that night and we were able to kill that deer. A couple years ago, Randy was sitting here shotgun season, had an amazing hunt.
Well, it's our last evening up here on the first season of shotgun in Illinois. We've seen a lot of deer this last couple of days, just couldn't do it up until now. Tonight could be the night. Don't move, there's a big buck right there. He's 30 yards. He's seen me. across the line right now. Two big bucks right there. And my cameraman's like, oh, which one's bigger? I'm like, who cares? Give me some love. That's a big deer. Oh my God, look at that deer. Look at him. Oh man. Gun is clear. Holy cow, look at this. Oh man. Oh. Oh. Look at that right there. Look at the mass on this deer. 10 and 2. Oh. Holy cow, look at the body on this thing. Oh, you're gonna look good on the wall. I've already got a spot picked out for you.
Every year in this little core area here, this little 500-acre block, we kill some of the best deer we kill, and it seems like we always kill 3 or 4 really good bucks here. So it's definitely my favorite area to hunt. If I've got time to get in the tree stand, I'm going to be in one of these stands along this ridge line. Well, we're just down the hill from where I actually killed my buck this year, and this is an area down here that we've got, we call it the split bottom, and really the reason for the name is pretty simple. Half the field is clover, half the field is corn, and this bottom just flat fills up with deer. This is a go-to spot when you want to see some deer. You'll definitely see deer sitting in this bottom. We've got stands hung on both sides, tower blind. That way, no matter what the wind is and whatever the approach I need to take, I can get into this food plot and hunt it, because when it's on, this is just a place you want to sit. So we've got it set up where we can hunt it all the time. A couple years ago, the first day I was on the Grigsby farm, I came in here and sat, and I was able to get on this giant 10-pointer. All right, we are slipping into this corn patch over here, because I checked the spy point camera on it today, and the last two and a half days, there's been 6 different mature bucks that have cut the corner of this field. I don't know if they're even really feeding in this corn patch, but it's where they cross this. There's a gap in the trees here. It's how they get across the field. In the past, it's been a very good spot. When you start seeing that kind of activity, you got to hunt it. This is our guy, I think. Here we go. We knew one was going to come here tonight. Little speck right there. Hey, he's right here.
Oh yeah.
See him?
Yep.
That's that deer I was talking about, had those short 2s and those super long 3s. Look at that. He's getting a little bit stiff because we let him sit for a while. Look at this deer. Get that out of the way. Can't hardly twist him around, but man, that's a heck of a nice buck right there. He is not the biggest buck at the Grigsby, but he is my suicidal buck at the Grigsby.
It's all right. It's a beauty.
Yeah, it is. That's a good deer. Yeah, during the season this year, we had one of our best 3-year-olds on the farm actually get spotted from the split bottom here. Jace Bowserman was here hunting with us, and man, he had an amazing encounter with this deer, and he is a big rack deer. A lot of guys would be super happy with this deer, and we're really excited to see what this deer does over the next couple of years. He could truly explode into something special. But we had a couple of great encounters, and Jace's was probably the best one right here in the split bottom. Standing here underneath the tree stand, thinking back at some of the great hunts, Randy had an amazing hunt here a couple years ago. Big buck, big heavy horn buck, comes right in here. He's got his crossbow, and you would think this buck is just dead to rights.
this could quite possibly be my last evening for a while here in Illinois. The wind is perfect for where I'm at. I've been waiting for a perfect wind for this stand right here. We've hunted it before. We've seen some nice deer. Tonight is the night, I guarantee it. Here comes another young buck. Big buck right there to the right right there. Are you on him? Here we go. I don't see nothing. I must have shot right up underneath him. 8 days in a tree comes down to that.
So that buck stands there, takes it like a man, doesn't drop or nothing. I mean, just it's perfect. Randy's got a rest. He's got his crossbow. You think, no way he's gonna miss. Shoots right underneath him. We gave him a hard time for that for a long time. We've all done it, but that's a funny one to think back on. I know Randy would love to have that shot back. Well, this is the top field on the west end of this block that I enjoy hunting so much and spend so much time in. This year, this field was beans. You can see I've got a little standing bean patch behind me here, but they've got it stripped and anhydrous in, and they've got it prepped for corn for next year. And with this top field being corn, on the years in the past it's been corn. This is an amazing area. And again, it gets the deer up on top of the ridges. We don't have to fight that swirling wind in the bottom. So we're gonna hang some new stands up here this year, because when the crops change, and the deer movement changes a little bit based on the food source. With corn up here, they will spend more time in this field, especially with these two big blocks we're gonna leave standing corn in. So we're gonna hang some new stands. It's going to allow us to hunt it a little bit different, but this is still my favorite area on the farm.
Yeah, one of the things we're doing here on the farm that not every farm has adopted this practice, but is trying to have something growing 12 months out of the year. So to accomplish that, as soon as the annual crop, the commercial crop, is harvested, then we're immediately establishing a cover crop to again armor the soil, to create microbial action in the soil, but it also creates wildlife benefit. So in addition to planting these cover crops on our crop fields, we're also looking for areas on the farm that we can create food plots for the wildlife, both whitetail and upland game. These can encompass both milo we've used, sunflowers. We're creating various types of other covers for the benefit of the commercial crops, annual rye, cereal rye, Balansia clover. We've talked earlier about our 8-way mix. It has multiple species, but these grow through the winter, late fall and winter and early spring, prior to either self-terminating or us coming in and chemically terminating those crops. In our attempt to be the ultimate steward for the land, we're also focused on the wildlife habitat that exists here, and to complement that and support that wildlife through the winter months, we strategically position food plots that would support everything from quail, pheasant, wild turkey. And so we try to target food species such as milo or grain sorghum, and put these plots adjacent to their natural habitat in an effort to manage this farm as an entire ecosystem